We talk about the whether it's school physical or the school asthma checkup, that there are five things that you need to go over with your with the parents to think about, the asthma triggers. What do they need to get from their doctor? Make sure they have everything that they need for school. And then talking to their school, making sure they're taking control of medicine and making sure they're getting refills. One of the things we know is that allergies also can trigger asthma, and September is a bad time for allergies, right? So really making sure that the allergies are controlled as well as the asthma is controlled. I often, will tell uh, parents that, if you take I don't necessarily recommend it, but if you take a vacation in July from your allergy meds, start them at the end of August so that the child is less likely to have allergic symptoms because we know that can trigger asthma. That we can avoid. We can't avoid colds. Colds are going to be there, but to do everything else you can to get your child in the best control so that they, can ride through the cold season. I often tell children to pace before and to pace after exercise because we know that if we talk about slow warm up, slow warm down. It's the abrupt start, the abrupt finish that can trigger some of the symptoms. So I think children can understand this idea of like I'm just going to pace and slowly work up to that for 5 minutes before I go out running, and at the end, rather than stopping abruptly, I'll just slow down to just walking slowly or pacing. I think that's an easy thing. I also do want to bring up the school environment, though. Lots of triggers. Most classrooms don't have rugs anymore, which is great. But they do have a lot of what I call dust catchers. And so just being careful if the books have sat around in a bookshelf all summer long. You don't want to be the first one at the bookshelf to get the book because it'll be full of dust, unless the teacher, been able to clean. So sometimes teachers are able to do that. And the other piece is like any warm-blooded animal. So often people think of furry animals as being the animals with dander, but it's really any warm-blooded animal can have dander. And I know many schools have gotten away from having those pets, but if you have them and you know you're allergic, and it's really hard for children, right? They want to hold that warm-blooded animal, but to really thinking about washing their hands before and after if they're going to be playing with the classroom pet.